Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and to the new year 2023. It has finally arrived and we're going to start off by doing more Christmas. Sorry about that. I'm still into my into Christmas journaling at the moment, but not for much longer, I promise. I just thought for today I'd like to work in this fabulous journal that I won from Crafty Ali Creates. That's Alison. If you remember, I won it as a subscriber contest after she'd made this journal on camera on her channel. I will try and remember to link the flip through of this journal below this video, but it will be looking a bit different because the beauty of working in a ring bound journal is that you can swap all the pages around and just use the ones that are appropriate for each page that you want to create. And because I'm using my photos and I'm using I'm doing it as a memory journal for my Christmas, I'm just picking out the pages that work for those whatever photos I'm using. So I have made a start. I'm really enjoying working in this journal, so I'll show you how I've got so far. It's not very far. Hopefully we'll get a bit further today. So I have, you see, I've got there's a nice big pocket here on the first page with a couple of tags in. So I've got this tag and we've got this big tag at the back. So I have started by writing all about our Christmas, about the build up to it, and while we're at Jenny's this year and things like that. Just writing about Christmas there. And then on this one, what did I do on this one? Oh, I wrote about the journal and where it came from, and that it was made by Alison and that I won it in a giveaway. So I thought it'd be nice to record that on this tag here. I think I did add a little bit of this bit of stenciling. I think that's me, and the bit of edging around, just jazzed it up a little bit. But this was where I just wrote about how I got this journal. So that's on the front there. And then the first page, I think this was the first page. I think I've left it as it was, and I've just put the year here. And I've got a tag that's got stuck. There's this absolutely beautiful journal card. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I think that's all been glittered up by Ali. It's just lovely. So I did that as my first day, number 1, 1st of December. There's just a photograph here there of the advent calendar that my daughter gave to Alyssa, and her little elf Patrick, who pops up quite a lot. That was where he first arrived, with his foot in the number 1 on there. I don't know if you can see that. So that's the 1st of December. So that kicks off the journal, and that's in there. And then this was the next page. I don't know where it was. I say I've already moved things around, and I just go through to find the page that I think is going to work best for my whatever photos I'm using for that day. So this was the 2nd of December, and I just put that on there. It's a lovely tag, and I wrote about what I did on the 2nd of December. So it's all written about on the back of that tag. And these are some of the photographs from that day. I went with my friend. She's one of my best friends, Linda. We went wreath making, which was really good fun. Lovely way to kick off the Christmas season. So I just took a couple of pictures there's a picture of her and a picture of me with our wreaths that we made. And when I say I made this, my friend Linda is very good. She is a trained florist, and she did quite a lot of this for me. I did struggle because of my hands, with wiring and all of this. So I made a start, but she could see very quickly that I was going to be I'll be there till tea time if she left me to it. So she very kindly lent a hand and pretty much made two wreaths. I did bits of it. I kind of knew what I wanted, but yeah, she did quite a lot of the actual work. Not that it was work, it was lots of fun. No, we had a really good time. And this is just a picture of the whole group of us. It was just a group of ladies. We all went together. I knew some of them already. I think most of them knows somebody else. And it was a really, really fun morning. What did we do? No, it was an afternoon. I think we started about 1 o'clock. And we were making the wreaths for a couple of hours. And then we all went and had a hot drink and a mince pie in the little cafe there. This was at a garden centre. It was really, really fun. I think we might do it again next year. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and everybody came away with something really lovely and completely different to everybody else's. So yeah, that was really fun. And this is just a sort of dividing page, I suppose. Really, really nice. One of the vintage book page, and there's a nice Christmas carol on the back. So I like that. I've just left that as it is. This is number 4. What have I got on there? Got something stuck on there. Seem to have stuck a little bit of thread or something's got stuck to his face. So this looks like it was a vintage Christmas card that Ali has just clipped with this amazing paper clip here to this page, which is done a vellum page, I think. I think she's must have printed it on vellum. But anyway, it's really pretty. I don't think it's a pocket as far as I can tell. It's just a nice page that she's clipped this old Christmas card to. So I've used it for some pictures of Alyssa. She did some crafting with her daddy, making a Christmas card for her teacher. So I've put that in here and just done a little bit of edging with some gold ink, and I put the number 4 because it's the 4th of December. So I popped that in there, and that's there. And that's as far as I've got. So all of the other pages, most of them I've left in. A few I've just taken out because they've either got a 25 on them, so I thought, well, I'll use anything that's either got the 24 or the 25 on them already. I'll probably use for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, just because they've got the date on them already. So I don't know quite yet what else I'm going to use, but I have picked out my next few days' pages. So I will just put this to one side for a moment, and we'll make a start on the next day. So I don't do a December daily. I've explained this in the past, but if anybody's new, I don't do it as a December daily. This is my Christmas journal. So I record everything we do that's Christmas related. So in the past I have actually started it in November. If we've done no, sorry about the noise outside, it's a bit distracting. There's some, I think they're cutting down a tree or something somewhere nearby. So if it gets too noisy, I'll turn the camera off and restart or take it up again when they finished. So I thought they had finished, but they clearly haven't. Now if you can hear it, I apologise. So yes, as I was saying, I don't do December daily journal. I only do a Christmas journal. So it's not, doesn't do every day in December. And I obviously don't do it during December very often. Sometimes I start it during December. But mostly I do it, quite a lot of it I do in January, just because I just don't have time to get on with it in December itself. So I'm going to do a bit of it today with you, but then I'll probably just finish it off camera and do a flip through probably next year. Or no, not next year, the end of this year. When I start my new Christmas journal for 2023, I'll probably start by doing a complete flip through of what this one looks like when it's finished, which is how I started what I did before Christmas for last year. I'm always a year behind. You may have realised this by now. Always a bit behind me. So this is the page I've chosen to use for, we're on December the 8th now. So this page, I've got all my bits and pieces here, so I'll just put that to one side. This page, it's got 3 tags here in these 3 pockets. So these 3 tags. And then on the other side, there's a big side tuck, and there was 2 or 3 different journal cards. These kind of things just tucked in here, just blank journal cards. So I'm going to use these for my photos, and I've got those all ready to go. I really like this. Look, I mean, it's just so pretty, this page, with these little faux tickets that I think Alison must have made. I don't know, but I think she did. I seem to remember seeing her make this page, and I really liked it. So I thought, to start with, I'm just going to get the 8 on here. I've got these little, I suppose they're die cuts. I think they're from a sheet from a magazine or something. So I've only got, they're not a digital, so once I've used them, they're gone. But they're just little ovals with the numbers on. So all the numbers. So I thought, well, I'll use those, but not for every page. And I'm going to sort of swap between using those little numbers and my little die cut numbers that I used on the advent calendar. I've got loads of those left, so, and I can clearly make more. So I have used both so far. So I'm going to use the number 8 for here because I thought it shows up really well on that red background. But I do want to put something around the edge. And I think I'm going to use, well, I've got out my red glitter just to go around the edge. I've just realised that red on red it might not show up that well. I might have been better with some gold. Maybe I'd be better off with gold around the edge. I have to go and fetch. I haven't got things ready to hand. I've got all the things I think I'm going to need around me, but I'm actually at the other end of my craft room because as I mentioned when I was doing the advent calendar, we're decorating this room at the moment. So Richard has painted the walls at this end, which is the end to the right hand side. If you remember, there's 2 big windows and the one on the right is the one side near the door. That's the side we've already painted, so that's where my desk is now. And the other end, that end, is half painted, and that's where most of my stuff still is. So I gathered what I could because it's all a bit of a mess, but I didn't get the gold glitter. I just got the red one, and now I'm thinking red on red might not look so good. So I'm just going to have to go and fish out the gold. It shouldn't take me a minute, I'll be right. Okay, so I've got my glitter glue, my gold, but I also brought in the green because I think actually I want to do green. I've changed my mind again. I think I've decided to go round the number with green. I'm hoping that's not a huge mistake, but you never know. I can only try. If I don't like it, I'll just use something else. Let's give it a try. I just felt it's too plain to leave as it is. Needs something. And why not have a bit of glitter? Just going to move it so it doesn't stick itself to the paper. Hopefully it'll be. Ooh. Okay, I don't know how it's going to work. Hopefully it'll be alright. I'm going to have to leave that to dry now, but that's not a problem. I'll just carry on with everything else. Move that to one side. Okay. Just put these numbers out of the way. Right, so I think what I'm going to do, certainly these 2 tags, this one and this one, I'm going to use for writing about what we did on the 8th of December, which was to start putting up the decorations. We started with the tree. We did everything backwards, I think, this year, because yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, we started early because we usually don't start till the second weekend, and this was in the middle of the week, so a little bit early than we normally would. But we also nearly always, I like to do the wreath. Is usually the very last thing I put on the door when we've finished decorations. Then I put the wreath up saying we're done. But of course I made the wreath the day before, on the 2nd, as you've seen. So the wreath, we put that up as soon as I made it because it was all fresh, so I didn't want it hanging around the house. So that went up first, and then when we're doing the decorations indoors, we usually do the tree last, and we did it first. So I felt like I was doing everything backwards this year, but that was just, we just felt the need, because I think the house is a bit, isn't really got our stamp on it enough yet. Certainly the living room hasn't very much, and it felt a bit bare, and we haven't done any decorating in there yet. we just felt it needed a bit of a life, bit of oomph to it, if you see what I mean, with the decorations and some lights, just to make it feel a bit more cosy and homely. So that's really why we did it when we did, and why we did the tree first, because we just wanted to get that tree up and the lights on and make it feel a little bit more cosy, which is what we did. And we're very reluctant to take it down now. Normally, as I say, every other year that I can remember, 1st of January is the day we've always spent taking down the decorations. We're usually done with them by then, but not this year. We're kind of not too keen to do it this year. We know it's going to make the house feel very bare when they're gone, but we're going to have to start this week. So I'm just going to write about that on these 2 tags, and if I've got more to say, I've got another tag here to use. So I'll do that all off camera, then I'll tell you what I've written. Right, so I've just done that. Not particularly articulate, so I won't read it to you, but it's pretty much what I just said, that we've done everything back to front this year. And that, whereas in the past I've always just got Richard to take a picture or 2 of me when when I've decorated the tree. This year I took pictures of him putting up the lights on the tree, because that's always his job. He always starts by putting the lights on the tree, and then I come in and do all the fancy stuff with the decorations and the baubles and all of that. So I thought, well, this year I'll change it and I'll take a picture of him, or take a few pictures of him, which is what I've done. So they're also going to be on this page. So these first 2 tags, they go back in here. So that one pops in. Whoop. Will go back in. It's a little bit tight, this pocket. It does go in there. There we go. That one's gone in there, and that one's gone in here. Right, there it is. Now this one is actually quite tight in this pocket as well. I'm having trouble getting it back out now, and it's quite a small tag. So what I actually think I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it from a tag from my own stash. So I've got a whole bunch of tags that I've made in the past, and it's in the same sort of style, luckily, to the rest of the journal. It's probably just a random one I made last year. So I thought I'd use this because it's actually a little bit longer, will fit really nicely in the pocket. It's not quite such a tight fit, I think. It will just go in there nicely. And I can put a photograph, one of the photographs that I took. I'll have to cut it down, but I've got this photo that I can put on the back there just to show the start of the process of putting the tree together. But the first thing I need to do, because I want it to, obviously, to match up with these, is to put in a little hole. I won't put an eyelet because these haven't got eyelets, but I have got a few little hole reinforcers that I've die cut. I've got here, so I can put one of those on and some red baker's twine. So I think that's what I'm going to do first, just so that it all fits in together. I think the hole will need to be a smaller one, the 1/8 rather than the 3/16. Usually I use the bigger hole when I'm doing eyelets, but these have got very... So I've got either a craft or I've got red. I'm going to put red on there. So I think that needs to be the smaller hole. So that's what I'm going to do. And make sure it's more or less central. Okay. And put my little hole reinforcer on. There's a lot of glue here, but that's the problem, because the for some reason I don't get on with the nozzle, or it doesn't get on with me. Oh, they're off again. I don't know if you can hear that. I certainly hope you can't, but I suspect you probably can. Now I've only got a wet wipe. I chucked all the dry ones I had when we were clearing up ready for Richard to start painting. Right, I've got that lined up. I'll just put one on the other side. Trying to not put too much glue on. Okay, just a touch. There we are. Okay, so I've got my little hole reinforcer on. And now I just need some red baker's twine. Oh, I just happen to have some just here. So don't really want it to be too long. So I'm just going to pop that through. No, I think we're trying to work out how Ali did it, so I do it the same. It's that way. Nope, not those scissors. Those scissors. Okay, there we are. Okay. I can use this somewhere else, so I'll put it over here. And then I just need to cut my photo down to fit on the tag. Are we done now? Just about. I'm just going to round the corners. I think it'll fit better if it's got rounded corners, or it appears to fit a bit better in the space. Okay. There we are. Yep. So I tend to use either a tape runner or double-sided tape when I'm doing photographs. I've got an aversion to using any wet glue for sure, and even glue stick I'm not so keen on using. This one's nearly run out, I think. So if I can squeeze on setting up the lights. Okay, and then we can pop that little card, hopefully a little more easily, in there. There we are. I might just trim this one down a little bit. And this one. So that's that page, and I've obviously, when the glitter is dry, I'll put my number 8 here. But I think it still looks okay, and I really like all these. I think these look really cool. So there we are, so that's that side. And then on the other side, I've got my journal cards to do, which I will want to decorate a little bit as well, I think. So I had 3 journal cards tucked in here, which are perfect because that's how many photographs I have. So I have this one. She's really sweet, I like her. And there is hubby doing his thing with the lights. I don't know if you can see, he's just trying to fit them all around. So there's that one. And then here's Santa. That's a really nice journal card. And on the back of that, he's adding right at the last thing, because he does the lights, then I do all the other bits, the tinsel and the baubles and all the other decorations. But I can't reach to put the fairy on at the end, so that's Richard's job as well. So there he is, adding the fairy as the final touch. And then this is just a picture of the tree, I think. I can turn it around. That's the finished article, all done and decorated. And that will go on there. So there we are. There were no presents under the tree this year though. It's a bit sad, but of course we didn't do it at home, so we didn't put presents under the tree. Could have done, but just didn't bother. Right, so this one, it's a bit white on the background, isn't it? Just wondering whether to do a little bit of stenciling. I might just do a little touch of stenciling on the back of there, just because it looks so white. The other two, I've got a nice cream background, and I think that's just a nice, that goes really well. But I'm not so keen on that one, so although I love the picture on the front, it's just a bit white on the back, so I think I might just do something with that. Bear with. Right, so I found, I've got this stencil by Tim Holtz. It's the leafy one, and I thought it would probably go quite nicely just as a subtle background. And I've gone and fished out my bundled sage distress ink, because it's a very soft green. I didn't want it to be too much. I just want a subtle background just to take off the whiteness of the back of this card. So where's my thing gone? Had it, there it is. I had it and then it disappeared on me. Disappeared in plain sight, as things seem to do all the time in my craft room. And I think I might just go around the edges with my vintage photo. Partly because I forgot to bring another dauber with across from where I've got my right over the other side of the room to do the green. But actually I think it just gives it a nice bit of an edge. So I think I actually quite like that anyway. Okay, there we are. Where'd it go? Not that one. Was it that one? Yes, it was. I could actually cut this down a little bit, couldn't I? I think it needs a bit of a trim up. I don't need all of that background. A pile of boxes on our settee with all the decorations on. Don't really need those all to be on display, because it kind of detracts a little bit from what's going on in the background. Right, so there we are. Right, let's am I going to round my corners on these? Maybe I won't, because the the journal cards aren't. So maybe I'll leave the photos as they are. Even though that's usually my favoured thing to do, is to round the corners, but perhaps it's not a bad idea to bring the changes a bit and not do it all the time. There we are. That's one journal card. And I might just ink around the other side as well, just to finish it off. That's one. And then this is the next one with Santa. It's a lovely one, isn't it? Lovely picture of Santa on the front there. So I'm just going to ink around that. Now I've got to decide whether I want to actually do some more of the stenciling. I'm not sure it really needs it. I think if I ink around it, that might be enough. I'll see how it looks. I'll see if it looks like it needs any stenciling on the back. Yep. How's that look? I don't think it's going to be worth it because the photo covers most of the card anyway, doesn't it? Yep. I think he's saying to me, is this right? Is this the right place for it? Something like that. Anyway, that's going on there. Okay. That's that card. And this one, tree all finished. And I'm thinking maybe I will put a bit of stenciling on this as the card is the photo's a bit smaller. I might just stencil that one. Just around the edges, I think. Right. Oh, no. It's got a wink around it as well. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put it down and I'm just going to write across the top, trees all done, or finished, or whatever. Something I should just pop across the top. Where's my thing? There it is. Okay. I'm going to see if I've got any labels that perhaps will just fit across there, same tree. I had them, where did I put them? Here we are. Something like decorating the tree or some reference to the tree rather than just writing it every time. I found a few words that I could, a couple of words that I could use. So I've got "Oh Christmas Tree" and tinsel because I like a bit of tinsel on my Christmas tree. But I actually was looking at these and I thinking I want to just do something around to define the edge of the photos a bit more. On this one, I just went round it with the gold pen and did some faux stitching. I'm not sure how well it shows up, but I thought with these, I've got a couple of pens. I've got a red and a green, and I think around this one I'm just going to do a green line around the edge of this one, and I might do red on the other one, or I might do green again. I think I'm just going to do a single line. Doesn't have to be straight. Just, I quite like to go around my photos a bit, just, I don't know, just kind of finishes them off somehow. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yep, just a green line around there. And I'm thinking I might do this one with red. There's quite a lot of red on the tree. Yeah, just finishes it off, I think. And then let's just put on a Christmas tree. I think I can probably use my glue stick for that if I can find it. I don't know what I've done with it now. I'll put it up there. I suddenly realised I might end up covering up my angel if I put it on the photo here. And let's put, they're both words have been inked around the edges. There we are. Bit of tinsel. Right, so I think these are done. I think I'm happy with these. Let's put them in here. So that one. And whoops. This one next. And this one at the front. There we are. And these can now be added to the journal. That goes in there. And then this one will go here. So it's quite a different experience, I'm finding, working in a journal created by somebody else. Because when you're working in your own journal, you kind of know what your intentions are, I suppose, a bit when you create the pages. You think, oh yeah, I know what I wanted to do here. Roughly, not necessarily knowing what pictures were going to go where or anything like that. But just because it's a different style that somebody else has created, it is more challenging, I suppose, to work in another journal. But once you get into it, you can just kind of make it work how you need it to, really. And I'm really enjoying it. It's a beautiful journal, and I'm quite enjoying making it my own, but at the same time in keeping it sort of, what's the word, honouring still what the original was how the original was made. I mean, the original is just great. I'm just adding a few little bits of my own to make it a bit more my own, but sticking with the original as much as I can. So this page I think is going to be a bit of a journaling page. I've got a couple in here that are more plain, and I have got a couple of days that I might want to just write about that I don't actually have any photographs for, so I shall probably use those for that when those days come along. Right, so this is the next page I've chosen to use. I think I've got enough time just in this video just to do one more. I was only going to do the first one because I knew I was taking up quite a lot of time on that one, but I have got a bit of time left, so I thought I'd just do this last one, which I've done a bit of preparation for, so it shouldn't take too long. It's just a little envelope, I suppose, but it's been envelope made into a page. So there was about I think the 3 journal cards were in here already, which I have used, and it's just sealed with a bit of Velcro, and then there's just a little cluster on the back. So it's a really pretty little page. It's just because it's different size, it just breaks up the journal, makes it look a bit more interesting. So what I want to do is the day I'm actually doing this for is the 10th of December. So I've got my die cuts ready for the 10th. Nice bright red, number 10. And I've stamped the December on this piece of paper, and I've inked it already. But I felt it needed something behind it, particularly with the December. It just faded a bit into the background. I could have just left it at number 10, but I thought, no, I want to put December on occasionally. So I've just got ready a couple of bits. Oh no, not that bit next. I've got a nice piece of fabric here that I've just torn. This is just from one of the bits I had from, I think that is a fat quarter from Hobbycraft that I bought a couple of years ago. So I've just got a strip of that there. Then I'm going to add this piece of book page, or it's a piece of dictionary, I think. I just want to ink around that, which I forgot to do before. So I'm hoping this little page isn't going to take very long to finish, but I thought I might as well do it on camera with you, and then at least it's a bit more than just having completed just one page. Although there was quite a lot to that page, wasn't there? Right, so there we are. So that's going to go on there, and then the 10th of December on top. So I better glue that down. I've got to figure out how best to do it. I think I need to use Fabri-Tac actually. Possibly is the best option for anything to do with fabric. Fabri-Tac's got to be the way to go. Like that. Where's me? Just check how these are going to fit. Don't mind if that goes over the edge of the cluster a little bit. There we are. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Let's put this on next, before the Fabri-Tac explodes all over my desk. We can safely use the art glitter glue now for the numbers. I'm actually filming this the next day because it got a little bit dark yesterday when I was filming, so I thought wait for today. It's a nice bright day today for a change. Haven't had a bright day for a little while. That's So I use my little click stamps that I've used before. I don't know if I've used these ones before. Oh, where have they gone? These are so great, these little stamps. So this is the one I've used. This is my newer set. I bought this just a few months ago, but I've not used it very much. They're all lowercase, but they're rather a nice font, I think. And then these ones I've used before. These are the uppercase ones, different font, a bit more square, but they're also good. Use them a lot as well. And they're just so handy because you can make any word. And they're lovely to use. You make your word up. So I've got DEC. I mean, unfortunately, this one had 3 E's, so I had to do it in two sections. But you get 2 of, I think all of the vowels you get 2 of, and 2 of some of the most common letters as well. So it's a really good little set from Amazon. I really like it. I quite like to get the numbers next, I think. Right, so that's that. Now I've got my 3 cards here, the 3 journal cards that came inside the little envelope. So I've got this one, I've got this one, and I've got this one. So they're really pretty. And I'm going to use these 2 for photographs, but this one I've already done. I've already written on it. Because this was the day my daughter took her little one to a Christmas tree festival, which was in the local church, because her school had decorated one of the trees there. So they're very excited to go and find her special tree. So I've just written about that here, and this was just the little, I think it was like the little leaflet they got to say it was the Christmas tree festival. The programme for the festival, I suppose what was going to be on, what trees are going to be shown, and then they found her tree. So this is her very proudly standing in front of the tree that her and her schoolmates had decorated, and they'd all made little decorations. She actually was able to take her own decoration home and have it on her own tree over Christmas, so she was very pleased about that. And I just thought, because this card has got 25th of December on, and of course it's not the 25th of December, I wanted to cover that up. So I've just found, I had a little look in my stash, and I've hardly ever used these. I made these faux stamps several years ago, I think, 2 or 3 years ago. Probably, I think I was following one of Rachel from Rocky Creations videos, I think, when just using some napkin on some book page and then cutting around it. I did have some little scissors, but they've seized up, so I've had to throw them away. But I thought this one would fit quite nicely on there, and it went quite well, but didn't detract too much, I hope, from her, and it just fitted nicely, so I'm going to stick that over there. And I'll just get my glue stick for that, I think. I nearly put a real old stamp on there, but it didn't quite cover, and it did look a little odd. So I thought this one fitted a bit better, and I quite liked it, how it looked. And it's quite nice to use something that you've made ages and ages ago. I don't think I've used them before. There we are. That looks okay on there. So on the back of here, which picture goes on here? I think it's this bigger one. So this is another picture of her by her tree. I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to do a little stamping across here. So I'm just going to glue that on. And then I've got a little stamp here somewhere, a little Christmas tree stamp that I could just pop there. Now, what colour shall I do that in? Really ought to be green, didn't it? Have I got my green? Oh, yes, I have. I have to keep thinking where I've got things, because my room is, of course, still a bit all over the place, although a lot of the painting's been done. It's really coming along. But all of my stuff has been kind of shoved to one side, so it's a bit all over the place. But at least I have my Christmas bits and pieces still here. I think this is an archival in library green. I thought that might be quite nice for a little set of trees. See how that comes out. Almost, not too bad. There we are. So that's that one. Whoa, it's stuck to the page. Oh no, oh no. Oh, that's a shame. I didn't realise that was so gluey. Get that off straight away. That's a real shame. I wonder if I can tease this off and put it back on. At least cover some of the bit that peeled off. I might just try and stick that back on. Well, it's not great, but at least it doesn't look quite as bad as it did. Oh dear me. Still, doesn't seem to be harmed anywhere else, so hopefully it's not too noticeable. What have I got now? I've got a pin stuck to the back. Oh dear. Okay, so that's that page, or that little journal card. There's Alyssa there, just looking at her tree. That's really sweet. And then this card. Get rid of that straight away. Won't do any more damage. And I've got this sweet little card. So I'm going to put that there. But then I'm going to put, let's get rid of that for a moment. So I've got another little Christmas tree stamp. I've got a little set of these little peg stamps. They're really cute. Got these from the works. And this one's got a little tree, so I thought perhaps I'd put some there on this card. So I had to reprint this picture because it was a bit too big for the card. So the first one I printed was just a bit bigger. So what I've done, I've punched out cheeky face. So I've got that little cheeky face here. And I thought, I've got to put that somewhere. I can't just throw it away. So I put it on, well, I'm going to put it onto this just this little piece of red fabric as a little border. And put it on the top here on the little flap. I thought that might be quite fun. And just put little cheese chops down here. A Lissy pickle. I'm just going to pop that there because I just like it. So let's get a bit of Fabri-Tac out. Probably got glue in the wrong place now, so I'll have to be careful. I don't really need it at the bottom half, but of course I've put some on the bottom half because I wasn't thinking. Let's just turn it over, try and wipe that off a little bit. Maybe I need to put a little circle there. Oh, semicircle. I don't want to obviously block the the Velcro, so I'm just wondering if I should stick something on the back of here. I could use another piece of this, couldn't I? Cut it down. Actually, that looks quite nice. So let's just mark where I need to cut it. Cover it, and then we aren't going to get problems with the flap sticking shut, are we? There we are. Little surprise as you open it. There we are. That's our little card. So let's put the cards inside. And it tells the story of the 10th of December. One, two, and number 3. I did actually cut this little thumb notch here because it was just a little bit difficult to get things in and out, and I thought, well, once I've added more, added the photos and made them thicker, it might be even more difficult. So I just did that, just that little. I couldn't get my punch in, so I just drew a line and cut it out just to make it a little bit easier to get things in and out of there. But that's worked quite well, I think. Close that up, and we'll put it in the book, and we'll call that good for today. Here it comes. Here comes the rattly book. Whoops, it's come undone. You can always hear it coming. Okay. So, oh, these are coming out. And this one goes in here. I found there was another picture. I did have another picture from this little visit, this little festival, so I might put a little picture on the back here, I'm not sure, just to finish it off. We'll see how I feel. But for now, that is the 10th of December. It doesn't feel like I've got very far really into the month, but I don't want to rush it. I want to just enjoy doing it. So there we are, it's done. Thank you for joining me again today. I hope you enjoyed this. I know you might not want to be doing more Christmas stuff, but at the moment I can't actually get at most of my non-Christmas stuff. It's all kind of piled in the corner. I've got things I want to do, but I'm not sure I'm going to have a chance to do it. So I may just have to do another page in my book, in my journal, in my Christmas journal, for the next video, because I just can't get at anything that's not Christmas at the moment. So please do join me again for that. I hope you're still interested enough in these things to join me. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.